Hello and welcome to News Analysis, where we don't just cover the news, we break it down, analyze it, and explore every angle to give you the clearest picture possible. We're glad to have you with us tonight. For those joining us for the first time, we dive deep into trending stories and provide insights that go beyond the usual headlines. In recent weeks, former President Donald Trump sat down for a widely discussed interview, tackling one of America's most polarizing topics, gun rights. Known for his unfiltered commentary, Trump didn't hold back, criticizing the media's coverage of gun ownership and expressing his belief that news outlets push an anti-gun agenda that he claims misrepresents the views of responsible gun owners nationwide. This interview sparked intense public reactions, reigniting discussions around the Second Amendment and how it's framed by the media. For Trump supporters, this was another instance of him defending their rights against perceived media bias. For critics, it was a display of his refusal to address the need for gun control in the face of escalating violence. In this article, we'll dissect the key points of Trump's interview, explore the context behind his arguments, and examine the broader media landscape around gun rights. By analyzing Trump's statements, media responses, and public opinion, we'll gain insight into the ongoing gun debate in America and why it remains such a deeply rooted issue in American society. We'd love to hear your voice in this conversation. Leave us a comment down below, and tell us where you fall in this ongoing debate. And don't forget, if you enjoyed today's analysis, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. We have new episodes every week, where we delve into the pressing issues impacting us all. Trump's perspective on the Second Amendment has evolved over the years, shaped by his administration's policies and the political landscape he helped shape. Initially, Trump's views on gun rights were relatively moderate. However, as he entered politics, particularly the presidency, his stance became firmly aligned with the pro-gun lobby, advocating for the rights of lawful gun owners and opposing restrictive regulations that he argued would unfairly limit their rights. During his presidency, he rolled back several regulations and advocated for policies that expanded gun rights, positioning himself as a staunch defender of the Second Amendment. Understanding Trump's journey on this issue is essential to analyzing his recent comments on media bias, as his views have cemented a large following among conservative, pro-gun Americans who feel their rights are often attacked by mainstream narratives. In the interview, Trump made several statements that resonated with pro-gun advocates while stirring controversy among gun control supporters. He called out specific media outlets, accusing them of having an anti-gun bias and sensationalizing gun violence without presenting the viewpoint of responsible gun owners. Trump argued that these narratives fail to address the broader issues around violence and mental health, painting lawful gun owners with the same brush as criminals. This framing, according to Trump, fuels a public misconception about guns and gun ownership. He reiterated his belief that the media should report on gun violence more responsibly, acknowledging the role of lawful gun owners in upholding Second Amendment rights rather than stigmatizing them. Throughout the interview, Trump emphasized the importance of maintaining America's constitutional rights, arguing that gun control legislation often ignores or infringes upon these rights. His comments echoed familiar themes among pro-gun advocates, who argue that gun ownership is a constitutional safeguard against tyranny. This stance brought both support and criticism, sparking a debate about the implications of Trump's comments for the future of gun legislation. A major portion of the interview centered on Trump's critique of what he perceives as anti-gun narratives in the media. Trump argued that mainstream outlets regularly feature stories on gun violence, particularly mass shootings, without offering a balanced view of gun ownership in the U.S. He questioned why the media rarely discusses the stories of lawful gun owners who have used firearms for self-defense or the recreational aspects of gun ownership, which are part of American culture. Trump's criticism reflects a long-standing concern among gun rights advocates who feel that the media unfairly villainizes gun owners and focuses disproportionately on tragic, high-profile incidents. Trump's remarks also touched on specific media outlets that he believes are particularly guilty of pushing anti-gun narratives. He accused them of fear-mongering and expressed concern that this type of reporting can lead to unnecessary restrictions on gun ownership. This aspect of the interview is critical to understanding Trump's relationship with the press, which has always been adversarial. His stance against perceived media bias on gun issues reinforces his appeal to a base that distrusts the mainstream press and feels misunderstood or misrepresented. To better understand Trump's criticisms, we must consider the role of media in shaping public opinion on gun rights. Historically, gun-related news coverage often focuses on gun violence, which inevitably shapes the public's perception of guns as dangerous. Studies show that stories on mass shootings or violent incidents often overshadow stories on self-defense or lawful gun use, giving the impression that guns are predominantly used for harmful purposes. This bias, whether intentional or not, can influence public opinion and push for more restrictive gun policies. Trump's comments suggest that he believes the media's portrayal of guns contributes to this biased perception, and he's not alone in this view. Many gun rights advocates argue that the media should present a more balanced view of gun ownership, highlighting the positive aspects and responsible use of firearms. This request, however, raises ethical questions. Should the media focus equally on positive and negative stories when gun violence has such severe societal impacts? Trump's stance opens up this debate, making it clear that media coverage will remain a contentious point in the gun rights discussion. For more in-depth analysis and political insights, subscribe to our channel. Stay informed, stay engaged, and join our community as we explore the stories shaping our world.